Samantha, welcome to the Republic. Thank you for being here for our round of candidate interviews. We're just going to hit 5 questions and I'll just go ahead and get started.
Okay.
A large focus of BCSC and school district across the state is on the foundational reading skills of second and third graders. How do you think BCSC is doing in helping those students along, and how might you contribute in ensuring those students have the best shot at passing iRead 3?
I think that BCSC is doing a much better job since COVID. I mean, it was really hard when kids were not in the schools. I love the Book Buddy program. I think that that is an amazing program. I think that they have focused a lot more on it. So I think that they're doing a lot better. The second part of that question, I feel like we could continue to do better by giving children real books. I know in elementary schools that's usually how it goes, right? But we also need to make sure that we're sending books home with kids and that parents take the time to make sure that the children are reading the books. I feel like currently we have a lot of focus on what BCSC is doing wrong, and we need to recognize that it's a team effort, and we should make sure that at home we are reading and making it more fun.
Another big element of what BCSC is working with right now is Envision 2030, their facilities plan. What are your thoughts on Envision 2030 generally?
I believe that all the schools do need to be renovated, especially like North Side and things of that manner. It's a $500 million bond. Of that $500 million, there's, 200 of it's interest. So I have concerns there. I also have safety concerns on how we are designing the schools. Currently, there's a lot of glass, which is not bulletproof, and it's going to be more expensive to maintain as it breaks. So I'm curious if they've thought that through responsibly. I think it takes away the run, hide, and fight aspect when there is an intruder, whether it's with a gun or not. Because if you have glass hallways per se, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But I do think there's great things with it. I don't know how much it's actually going to help our scores per se, but I think it's definitely going to look a lot nicer. I'm also concerned, like even with Parkside, I know that their roof is still leaking, yet they're completely finished with those renovations. So I just want to make sure that we're being efficient with what we are doing with Envision 2030. There's always the good and the bad, and I think that we just need to look into the bad more to make sure we can cross a few of those off the list.
Alrighty. Do you think that teachers are being compensated adequately? And what can BCSC do to improve teacher retention and recruitment?
Great question. I actually spoke with a teacher yesterday that said that he had to leave BCSC because he couldn't afford to live on teacher pay. So no, teachers are not being paid enough. I think that we could definitely increase their pay. And I think we have to get rid of the toxicity in the schools. Bringing back discipline and structure is going to be key to make sure that our teachers are safe. No one wants to work in an unsafe environment, and when our teachers are being attacked by students, that's a big issue. Also, parents, they don't want parents to be emailing them and calling them and cussing them out because their kid did something wrong or they messed up. I think that teachers need to be looked at as the front line of our schools. Without them, we do not have schools. So with that being said, bringing back more of the respect on both levels and recognizing that we're teams would also help with retention. At the end of the day, I think everybody we all have the same goal of, educating our students and our children and making sure that they're safe. And we need to stop, battling who is right and who is wrong.
The board has devoted a lot of time in school board meetings over the past 10 months to the accessibility of certain library materials in BCSC libraries. Do you think BCSC has the correct policy in place for addressing these concerns? And would you like to see anything additional be done?
I don't think BCSC has the transparency that needs to be had when it comes to what is in our libraries. A lot of people believe that, like with the book banning, with the book banning, we want to ban books like Charlotte's Web or To Kill a Mockingbird. That's not the case. I have yet to find one candidate that says that they actually want to ban a book. So I want to make that clear that nobody is saying ban all the books. I believe in parental consent. I am a mother of, of children that are in BCSC, and if I do not want my child to have a book, I feel like that's my parental right. Just as much so is it my parental right to allow my child to have a book. Currently, we are to email the librarian if we do not want our kid to have a book and hope for the best. Unfortunately, that's all that we get whenever we are asked how to handle the situation. And I do feel like BCSC has the technology to make that policy better. We have the parent portal. We have, electronic permission slips being sent home constantly. And I'm not saying that we need necessarily a permission slip per book that has, rape, sexual content, teaching kids how to shoot up a school, none of that. But we should be able to put check marks at least on a book if we do not want our kids to have it. And if when our kid goes to check it out, it brings up an alert of some sort. We now have self-checkouts in some of our schools, so how does that work if the librarian's not even scanning out, the children? We have substitute librarians at times. What if they do not have the information that we want children, that parent does not want their child to have the book? So I just don't think that, I'm glad that there is a policy in place, but I feel like we can make it better to keep our parental rights at the forefront.
All right, last one. In recent years, school board races and school board meetings themselves have become increasingly charged at times. How would you work with others that may not agree with you on a specific subject?
Yes, you're completely right. We have not even candidates, but board trustees being threatened with their life verbally currently. And I have had very good conversations with people that disagree with me. And then I've had the more of the closed-minded, argumentative, you are wrong, I am right type of conversations. And I do my very best to just say we're not here to argue, we're here to, work on the kids' futures. And I will always go back to if we can't agree to disagree and we can't compromise and recognize that we are here for our children's future to make sure that they are successful, then we're failing our children. And I don't think anyone really wants to fail their children or the community. And I think just making it very clear that I'm not here to fight or to argue or to spread gossip or to twist people's words like it has been with me. I want to hear everybody. I want to hear from everyone, even those who disagree with me. I just don't want the twisting of my words and the manipulation. Currently we have the CEA calling people and sending text messages to teachers saying that I don't agree with the referendum and it's going to cost them $15,000 in pay, because they didn't read all of my information in the questionnaire. And it's unfortunate that there are so many people gaslighting our teachers and our community, and we need to be better. So how do I handle that? I just keep reminding people that I'm not here to fight. I'm here to work together for the common good.
All right, thank you so much, Samantha.
Thank you.